How's it going? You doing alright? A lot of people have been asking me for an update about the PhD. How's the PhD going? How are things going with the PhD? How are you? I'm supposed to be finished by now, right? Supposed to be finished quite some time ago. Well, for those of you who don't know what the hell I'm on about, my name's Heinrich, and I'm currently doing a PhD in chemical engineering. The project itself is about separating carbon dioxide from other gases using membranes, so that's to stop the carbon dioxide going into the atmosphere. So this thing would go on the output of a power station, basically, or something else that produces CO2. Some other industrial CO2 producing thing. It would separate the CO2 out of the other gases, and then it wouldn't go into the atmosphere. So I'm trying to stop global warming, basically. That's what I tell people. Just depending on how interested they seem to be. I start with, I'm trying to stop global warming, and I go from there. My master's degree was in wind turbine blades, so I was trying to, stop global warming again. Um, yeah, so how's it going? A lot of people have been asking me how it's been going. I'm supposed to be finished by now. I already said that. You can probably tell by the way I'm speaking that it's not going particularly amazingly. But yeah, so I finished the draft of my thesis, so I guess that's a good thing, right? I finished the draft of my thesis. 205 pages, I think it came up to, something like that. Scientific theses tend to be shorter than uh, humanities theses because we're supposed to do experiments and stuff, right? Doing the experiments is kind of the main part of it, whereas, you know, for a humanities thesis, it's all about reading and writing, reading and writing, reading and writing. Tends not to be too much actual primary research going on there. Just reading and writing. Obviously, that's quite a generalization. Whatever. I need to cover myself. You know, I need to expand the audience as much as possible, which means I can't upset stupid people because there's just so bloody many of them. And I need their money basically. So, uh, sorry. Um, a lot of people don't find that very funny. They'll say I worked hard on this PhD in meme studies. Stop hating on me. Um, yeah, what can I say? I've been in academia for a long time, and now I don't want to be, and it's making me bitter and nasty. So how's it going? So I finished the first draft, right, and I sent it to my supervisors, and then they sent back a bunch of hmm, feedback, you could say. Yeah, it was feedback. It's just, so if something's right, then there's no reason to talk about it. So whenever I get the feedback, it's just like a huge negative wall of text. But that's, I know that's not because they're actually very nice people. They really are. They've been very, very patient with me. And it's just because if everything's fine, then there's nothing to talk about. So you just talk about what needs fixing. And so, yeah, these last couple of days I've not been doing so great really because I got the feedback on the Friday. What is it, like Tuesday now? I don't know when you'll be watching this. Probably about Wednesday maybe. And so these last few days I've just been like really, really, really demotivated. I find it very hard to look at the document. I find it very, very hard to make progress on the document. This is why it's taken me so long. The longer I spend, I'm very, very burnt out. Those of you who've been following the channel for a while, you'll know that I used to work 70-hour weeks. It's 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? 50. Oh, do you see that Krug shot? Damn, took out that Nighthawk there. I gotta watch out for those Krugs with that 30% accuracy, Although he did fire 3 of them, I think. I did see at least 2. Those were Cubs. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So it took me a few days to get over it, really. But I've thought about it a lot. I've had some time to think about it, and it's not so bad. Basically, it's just one of the chapters in the thesis they have a problem with, and the main reason they have a problem with it is because they've been studying this one field for a long time. And so they have some quite strong opinions on this specific thing that I'm doing. I don't want to get too much into it because I just don't like thinking about it basically. Um, and so they have quite strong opinions on this, basically how these membranes work, basically, and and yeah. Whereas the people who are going to be examining my thesis aren't. They're not like one-to-one in this very specific field, because it is a very, very specific field. All academics tend to work in a very, very, very specific field within a larger field. And so when you get people to examine the theses or whatever, the examiners have already been nominated. They're doing something tangential but not the same, because nobody's doing the same thing, or at least they shouldn't be. So yeah, so that's basically it. Essentially, they take issue with part of one chapter, and it's not really the end of the world. I've thought about how I can fix it. I've had a few days to think, while people have been messaging me asking me why I'm playing Satisfactory instead of making Warno videos. And yeah, so what's the plan? What's the plan? Broken Arrow comes out in about 3 weeks, right? Comes out on the 26th. 16th even, sorry, my bad. 16th if you pay extra, which I'm going to have to do, because I want to make loads of videos for it. So basically this week, I've taken the first 2 or 3 days just completely off. I've not really been doing anything. Because like I said, I've not really been sleeping properly. I'm not in a great state. I need a break, and I'm having one. So the issue is there's not really any escape. There is no escape. You cannot escape. This shadow has been sort of looming over me for as long as most people on this channel have known me. The vast majority, apart from the few of you who knew me before I sort of started the channel. Me doing a PhD and not enjoying it is the defining feature of my personality for the last 4 years, 4.5 years. So yeah, but yeah, I used to be a different person. So do you see that? So when you alt tab, new planes that spawn in, their icons don't drop. Anyway, so I just want to show you the calendar. So you're gonna have to deal with it. So yeah, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna make some Warno videos and stuff. I'd like to apologise to the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, of course, and they get the videos early. They get members exclusive videos at a rate of 1 per week. Great way to support the channel. I'm currently an unfunded PhD student because I took too long doing my PhD, which is my fault, right? Yeah, so great way to support the channel. Anyway, they usually get the videos like way early, and recently they've been getting the videos not so early, and that's because of the situation I'm in. I've been finding it quite hard to make the videos. So yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to just be making the Wano videos so that I can catch back up and get things done. And I know some of you will probably be typing out right now, well, just take it easy, I don't mind. And yeah, okay, thank you. But you are paying for a service, and some of you do mind. I know this because at previous occasions when this has happened, the number of channel members does go down, and that's normal. If you're paying for a service and you're not receiving the service, then you should get your money back, right? I think that's just, or at least stop paying for it. So I get it, right? Anyway, so I'm going to be making the videos. Also, this gives me some time away from the PhD. So I submitted the draft to my supervisors like last week. On Tuesday. I think it was about a week ago. Yeah, I think it was a week ago. I mean, time sort of has no concept for me anymore. But I think it was about a week ago, and then they got back to me on the Friday. So they basically just skimmed through it because they'd already seen. So I'd been sending them the chapters as I wrote them, and then this is just the whole thing put together with certain parts they haven't seen, the abstract, the conclusions, and yeah. So sorry, I've not been sleeping well, so I can't think very fast. This red player is doing terribly. Has he rage quit yet? Yeah, he just went. That was him. Right, let's go look at somebody more successful. Right. So this guy's still in the game. I can't tell. It is live, but they usually have things here to tell you. But Whatever. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I just need a few days where I'm not looking at the bloody thing because it's really upsetting me. I find it very, very hard to work on it. I think I already said that. Sorry, and it's having a big effect on my health. And it's like, oh, my mental health. Well, it's my physical health. If I don't sleep, then I'm physically unhealthy, and then that makes me mentally unhealthy. I suppose. I mean, you could say, well, you're not sleeping because you're mentally unhealthy, but you know what I mean. The two things are linked. Um, right. So, I'm not going to be working on the thesis this week more than I already have. I've done a bit today and yesterday, just sort of looking, and obviously over the weekend, looking at the feedback. So I'm just going to not look at it for a bit. And then next week I'm going to make all the videos like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But there's a tournament on Saturday. 2v2 1-0 tournament. Single elimination with Fortitude Fence. So we might get eliminated in the first round. We might make it. You know, who knows? I mean, look at this. Look at this tactics here. This is the 1-0 meta. You just buy BMP2. Wow. Incredible gameplay. So this guy... What's he playing? Berlin Command. Oh, my sympathies. Although on this map, I think it's actually really good, because you just sit in the middle, which is what he's done. But yeah, look at this incredible purchasing of BMP2s. This man clearly knows how to play Wano. Just buy BMP2s. You know, it's frustrating because the Broken Arrow guys, they say, oh, in Wano all you do is blob. And I'm like, no, you don't. Well, this seems to be working. So, there's another one there. Yeah, okay. I mean, if you did that in 1v1 against a good player, well, probably work anyway, actually. But anyway, let's talk about something else. So next week I'm gonna fix my my CV, my thesis. I'm gonna fix my thesis next week, and the week after, and then Broken Arrow comes out on Monday the 16th. So that's the plan basically. So sorry that for the generous channel joiners, generously joiner in the channel. I'm sorry that you're not getting the videos that early. Right, these all should have been done like on Sunday. Instead it's going to be like basically next week, so I'm like a week behind. They do still get them early, just not as early as they usually do. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. And then yeah, and then I'm going to spend next week just working on the thesis. So the idea is if I get all the videos done this week, then next week I won't actually have anything to do until the end of the week. You know, in terms of the videos for next week, the week after that. And so yeah, this is all going to be thesis, and then I'm going to submit it before the 16th. So I was assuming that there would be other things happening. So, you know, if I was Eugen, I'd be like, okay, my competitors, the guys who, like, you know, left the company and made their own thing and whatnot, they're making a rival game. It's about to come out. It's similar to mine. It's had a much bigger marketing campaign than mine. It's going to sell more copies than mine. What am I going to do in that situation? Well, I should release my next update before Broken Arrow comes out, so that I can take advantage of, you know, my friendly rivals, whatever, my opponents, my competitors. That's probably a better idea. My competitors' marketing. I can take advantage of that by you know, I'm sorry this is so disjointed, it's just I'm looking at that and I haven't slept very much. I think I already said that. I should take advantage of my opponent's marketing campaign by releasing my own content just before Broken Arrow, like a couple of weeks before Broken Arrow comes out, right? Now, basically, now, right now. And then everybody who's hyped for Broken Arrow will be like, well, I've got nothing to do while I wait for Broken Arrow. Wano's similar. They've just got a new thing on, a new sale, and new content, whatever. They've just fixed a bunch of things. I should go play Wano. That's what you would do, right? And, you know, that should be your priority one. And, you know, if you can't do the big one, South Ag, right, is the next one. The French sector of the Cold War, which in real life, by the way, was disbanded. The French withdrew to just outside Germany, and they said, if the Soviets make it this far, we're going to nuke them while they're on German soil. So yeah, it's really makes you think. Anyway, so you think that they would be doing that, but they're not. Well, at least it doesn't. They don't seem to be. I mean, maybe they are, and it'll come out tomorrow. But it doesn't. You know, they haven't said anything. Maybe it'll be a surprise. So So yeah, it's really stupid, basically. I don't understand why they do this to themselves. And to me, because it affects me as well. Wow, this guy's using Vasilex. Incredible. You get to see the damage of the Vasilex. You're going to love this. So, that's 4 Vasilex against 1 unit. Nothing happened to him. And now he's going to hit the other buildings. Yeah, nothing happening. Nothing happening. He's destroying the buildings. I mean, buildings are getting shredded. Oh, he's got 8 Vasilex. Wow. Interesting. I mean, it looks cool. It's not really doing anything. You've got a huge amount of time to move. That arrow rifles might die to 8 Vasilex. It's taking its time. He could just leave. He could just walk out. He's just choosing to sit in that. And it's not like he doesn't get a lot of notice. But yeah, they don't seem to be doing that. I suppose in a way it's good for me, because it means I can work on my thesis. But it's bad for me because the videos are doing kind of bad. We should probably talk about that now. I got some notes here. Let me just check my notes. Try not to complain too much. Alright, whoops. Yeah, I complained a bit too much. So let's talk about like the money and so on. I always talk about this, right? I try and be transparent. So I covered this in my why I'm covering Broken Arrow video, which I really recommend you check out. So it's a really good video. Or at least it did well on views, which must mean people liked it. Basically, I need £1,550 a month to live. My PhD funding's run out, I think I mentioned that. So I need £1,550 a month to live. The way I got that number is I just got my expenses for the last 3 months, or it was like December, January, February, and just divided it by 3, right? So that's how much it costs. I mean, winter's always expensive because you gotta heat the house, right? And you know, I understand that a lot of my audience are in other countries, and they're like, that's a lot of money. Maybe you're quite young. Although most of my audience is actually about my age. I'm 28, by the way. About my age, right? Plus or minus 10 years off that, essentially. Most of the audience. I can just show you, actually. Analytics. Audience. So 46.3% of you are not subscribed, so if you could subscribe, I'd appreciate it, because it makes YouTube recommend the videos to more people. It also grants me a great deal of legitimacy. So if I had 20,000 subscribers, I could go to YouTube, to game developers, and I could say, can you give me a key for your game? I got 20k subs. It got easier for me once I got to 10k subs. Anyway, 1.3% of you are female, which is a lot higher than I was expecting it to be. And this is the age demographics thing, so you know, everybody just kind of lies, because if you tell the truth on that, then there's a lot of videos YouTube just doesn't let you watch. So anybody from this is just in this anyway. But you'll see that, you know, I'm 28 and half my audience is 25 to 34. 1.4% of you are watching this on Grandma's iPad. Oh yeah, that was it. I forgot to make that joke. So the joke is that the 1.3% who are female are just men watching it on their wives' iPads, right? And look, there's the tablets, 5.5% on the iPad. So this is you know, some kid watching this on Granny's laptop or iPad, right? And you know, 30% of you are American, which is pretty crazy actually. What really blows my mind is how many Germans there are, because you would think they'd want to watch stuff in German. There is something up here called like auto dubbing, which I just haven't switched on because I know most of you speak English, so there's no point giving you some AI voice translation of what I'm saying. Yeah, so where was I going with this? I got some notes. Oh yeah. So it cost me £1,550 a month to live, and thanks to your generosity, generously generifying, you know, generously, we're at 1,200. So I'm almost there. Actually, we're almost there. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry that I'm not like, yeah, but that's because I'm fucking miserable. But in 3 weeks I won't be, so that's sort of the takeaway from this video. But you asked for an update, here it is, right? I wanted to do this when I felt better, but I'm not gonna get better for about 3 weeks, so that's how that's going. But yeah, I really do appreciate it. I'm hoping that, you know, the audience increase from Broken Arrow will make will just tip it over, and then I'll be able to afford to live. Can you imagine that? Afford to live playing Wano. It's sort of a dream come true, really. And my other dream was to be a chemical engineer. So it's like, wow, it's all coming up Heinrich, right? But yeah, I'm currently in the shit part, and that's why I'm. But yeah, I do appreciate it. Sorry, I had some notes here. Oh yeah, the Wano videos are doing really badly. So I sort of hinted on this. The Wano videos are doing really badly. So you'd expect, so like a month ago, if I uploaded this video, it would have 1,100 views by 11 hours, roughly. Right? It was basically 100 views an hour until I went to bed. But now they're doing really kind of badly, and like, so these three are the last three videos I released, and they're all on the bottom of the pile. What this says is, this is how many views you got in the first 11 hours since, because this has been 11 hours and 33 minutes since it was published. It's my latest video, and it says this is how many views you've got in that time, and this is how it compares to your other ones. So the dev blog readout did really well, so I'm gonna have to do more of those. You guys clearly like them. I personally, like, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't watch it. But I guess that's because I have the knowledge because I play this game so much, right? I'm not some sort of genius. If I was smart, I'd have finished my PhD by now. Mm. If I was smart, I wouldn't have done one in the first place. Anyway, um, if I was smart, I wouldn't insult in humanities PhDers, right? Um, I'm just so retarded. Why does anybody watch these videos? So yeah, they did really well, right? And then everything else is doing kind of, everything, all the regular videos are doing really badly, and they just, every week the viewer numbers get lower, and that's for a few reasons. One is that because I'm uploading Broken Arrow stuff, I've attracted a Broken Arrow audience, and they don't really care about Wano. So I did a poll about this actually. I'll just show you. It's really interesting. Whoops, we're not up to that yet. That's really funny. Stick around for that. That's very, very funny. So posts, yeah. So here we go. No, here we go. 2,000 views, 2,000 votes in 13 days. Which videos are you most interested in on my channel? 20% of people. So that's 400 people out of 2,000. So 20% of my audience, let's assume, mainly watch Broken Arrow videos. So that's like a huge growth. There's a lot of people that are just here for Broken Arrow, and they're about to be happy because the game's about to come out, and I'm going to cover it because I enjoy the game. I was going to say I like money then, but I felt like lying. No, the game's alright, really. What I need is a group to play with, and that's I can set it up. I've got a Discord. I need to advertise my Discord. I've got a Discord, but I haven't set it up properly yet. So there's a link, but there's not really anything there, apart from a bunch of people rinsing me for playing Satisfactory when I should be making Wano videos. Or working on my PhD. But yeah, basically I need a group to play with. The game is absolutely miserable to play by yourself. It really is awful to play as a solo player, multiplayer in Broken Arrow. It really is, really is, really, really, really is bad. Oh man, the game ended. Well, we're not even watching it. So this video is just terrible. I'm sorry. People ask me for an update, but I'm not. My thoughts aren't well structured or anything. I'm not sleeping enough. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people just watch Broken Arrow. So the original point was, so they're on their Broken Arrowers, and that's fine. I mean, I make the videos because I want people to watch them, so that's good. But what it means is that so they've just subscribed, great, or they're watching the channel and the algorithm sees them as somebody who likes my channel. So then I release a Wano video, which I'm doing once a day, and it'll push it out first to those people, to my audience, and then those people will say, well, I don't like Wano, I'm here for Broken Arrow, so they won't watch it, and that's completely fine, right? But then the YouTube algorithm says, oh man, this video is crap, like barely any, or a substantial part of his audience is not watching it. So we just won't recommend it to anybody because it's clearly not a very good video. So by growing into the Broken Arrow space, I'm now suppressing my Wano videos because that's the way it works. So it was a bit silly, but anyway, that's one reason. The other reason is that the game hasn't had an update in absolutely ages, really a long time. Let's find out how long it's been, because I don't have anything better to do. Um, like when was the last update? Does it actually tell you? Discussions, server maintenance. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since the last update, right? Uh, like what it you got to scroll down. Here we go. The last update was March 25th, so people just don't care anymore. I mean, they get bored of the game, and who can blame them? It's been 2 months, and it's summer. They want to go outside or whatever, so they're not watching the videos. So the videos are doing worse for those two reasons. I think the third reason is probably that I am, you know, retarded, but I'm just as retarded as I was. I'm actually feeling a lot better than I did in December. The last time I did one of these videos was about December, January, right? And I was kind of miserable when I was doing that one. Or was it the one before? I can't remember. Um, anyway, what was I going to talk about? I got some notes here. Oh yeah, the BA videos are doing better, right? So that's cool. But I ran out of Broken Arrow videos, so the views are going down. It'll take a while to kick in, but you see that this, so you see 2 videos a day, 2 videos a day, three because I was live streaming, right? And then this is like half. Oh, well, it's not quite half actually, but it is less, and it will continue to go down because now I'm uploading 1 video a day and it's the less popular stuff. The really interesting part is that if you go back and look at my first Broken Arrow videos, they did way worse than the Wano videos for basically the same reason. Most of my audience was Wano, and they were like, well, this game isn't for me, so I'm not going to watch it. That's fair enough, right? But yeah, there's I've got a couple videos left that I need to upload. I need to render and upload. Basically, I did a live stream at the start of the press beta. That's got about 6 games in it. I should just chop those up and put them up as videos. Obviously, the die-hard fans will have already seen the live stream, so they won't do so well. But there's a lot of people that just don't bother with the live stream, so it's good to do that. And and I've got one more single player mission thing. I don't know. It was okay, but it just wasn't for me really. Anyway, there's a Wano tournament on Saturday, which with me and Fortitude Fence, so I'll be playing that. I think I already mentioned that, but it's in my notes. And yeah, I wish I could make more videos, right? So here's the videos, and the channel members usually would have like you know, the next like almost a week's worth of videos here. And because I was doing 2 a day, it'd be close to 14 videos that they could watch right now. Because this video is currently members only, and is scheduled to become public whenever, and they'd be able to watch them all. But because of the situation I'm currently in, there's not that many videos. But there will be by the end of this week, unless something bad happens. And oh yeah, I said I'd plug this tournament, right? So there's lots of Wano tournaments. There's one happening on June the 1st, called Monkey Brawl, and they've got a pretty big prize pool. So there's two brackets. So there's a sort of noobs bracket, but they won't be noobs. They'll just basically be copers. There's a lot of people who um they're very good at the game, but they try and get into these amateur brackets, and they just tell everybody how bad they are over and over again, so they can get into these amateur brackets. Um, and this happens everywhere, right? So the winner of the where is he? He's got like 3 accounts, so it's kind of hard to tell where he is. So the winner of the Division 2 in SDL was this guy who was ranked like ninth a few weeks ago. I mean, he's gone down a bit. He's got a few accounts. But yeah, he was like rank ninth at one point, and he won Division 2, right? Whereas the guy who won Division 1, um, I'm pretty sure his rank is lower. I can't see him. They all changed their name a lot, which okay, fair enough. I do it as well now, but um, yeah. So that's just it. It's just full of copers basically. So anyway, I'm trying to advertise. It's supposed to be happy. So they've got lots of money up for grabs, right? And they've got this really interesting marketing strategy where they go on to posts for rival tournaments. So this is the one I will be in this weekend. Um, yeah, and then they say your prize pool is very small. I'm in another tournament and the prize pool is $350. Sounds like your tournament is bad. Here is a link to my tournament. I mean, you can't fault them. That's very, very funny. So yeah, join this if you want money, and hopefully they'll stop fucking spamming me constantly with messages asking me to play in this tournament now that I've advertised it for them. So I had some notes here. Try not to complain too much. Yeah. Uh, Whoops, I haven't done that. Anyway, cliff notes. A few days off, a few days making videos. So the members only videos. By the end of this week, there'll be a lot of videos for the members, and then next week and the week after, or next week and like half the week after, it's just going to be thesis, thesis, thesis. Get all the corrections done, and then just submit it. And then what happens is that it goes to these external examiners, and they will look at it for I don't know a month or so, and then they will I'll have an exam like an exam where they'll just grill me for a few hours about my thesis, and then they'll give me you might fail, but I've at least you can never be entirely sure, but it looks like I'm not going to fail. At least that's what my supervisors have said, or at least that's what they've implied. Right? They've got to cover themselves as well. Nobody can be sure, etc., etc. So it's either going to be minor corrections, which means there's not that much to do, so you don't have that much time to do it in, but it's just a small set of things, or major corrections, which means there's probably quite a lot to do, so that you are given more time to do those corrections. Then I submit it again, and then if I did everything they told me to do, then I will pass, and then I will have a PhD, right? So um, submitting the thesis is the current milestone, and then I don't have to worry about it for at least a month or whatever. So yeah,